we get connected to the Blitz on Fox 31.
Welcome to the regular season finale of the Blitz. I can't believe that the regular season has gone by so fast. I'm Joey Lamar.
And I am Matthew Doyle. A ton of great games tonight with a lot on the line. And one of those key games is Turner County traveling to Irwin County with region titles on both teams' minds.
Right. That's a big game because if Irwin wins, they are back-to-back region champions for the first time since 1972 and 73. If Turner wins, they need some help now. They would have to start checking Twitter, start looking at some scoreboards because they would need Clinch County to lose to Telfair. And before this week, we spoke to both coaches about this matchup.
You know, we've been building. You know, a lot of people were talking about, you know, we want to peak at Fitzgerald, we want to peak at Charlton. We don't want to peak then. We want to peak right now and keep building going through the playoffs.
I've talked to my boys specifically. I've told them about being focused, staying focused all the way throughout, and paying attention to the details, the little things, because those are things that's going to matter. Coach Nobles has a quality ball club over at Irwin County, quality coaching staff, and we got to be ready for the challenge at hand.
And it's our Harvest game of the week. And like I said, Irwin seeking back-to-back region crowns for the first time since 1972-73. Let's pick this game up in the second quarter. Irwin leading 13-10. Irwin inside the 5. DJ Parley gets the handoff up the middle for the score. Short touchdown run makes it 20-10. Still late in the first half. Turner going big. Tyler Moore with a beautiful deep ball to DeAndre Pierce. Touchdown made it 20-16. They go for 2 and convert it. It's 20-18 at the half. Same score in the third after Irwin fumble. Tamarion Terry takes the handoff, gets the corner, and you can wave bye-bye to the senior. Long touchdown makes it 24-20 because Turner missed the point after touchdown. But on the ensuing kickoff, special teams are going to give Ben Simmons a nightmare. Travion Benyard runs it back to the house 27-24. Irwin will go on to win 34-24. They claim back-to-back region championships. And in Dawson, the Travion Bishop and the Green Wave needed a win and some help to claim their region championship. First quarter, no score. The Travion Bishop on the keeper races 20 yards for the score. Green Wave's up 6-0, and they were feeling good, so they decided to go for 2. This time, Bishop hands it off. Running back breaks one tackle, but it stopped short, so 6-0, Terrell County still in the first. Terrell driving again, and it's back to the ground game, but this time they lose the ball but are able to recover it. And that was a big play because 4 plays later, it's the man from the top of the highlight. This time off the right side, 12-0 Terrell County, and they will decide to go for 2 again. This time, they're a little bit more successful than the last. Bishop connects with his man, 2-point conversion good, 14-0 at that point. Green Wave go on to win 42-0.
And Bainbridge and Cairo squared off tonight in a battle for the region championship and the #1 seed in the playoffs. And the Bearcats take the field looking to keep their perfect record alive at West Thomas Stadium. Opening drive, Cairo gives the ball to Deshaun Walker. He takes it up the middle. 20 yards later, he has the first down in Bearcat territory. And a few plays later, 38-yard field goal is good by Demetrius Miller. 3-0 Cairo. And on their next possession, John Owens is going to drop back to pass, and he hits Matt Cromer. Hit hard, and he fumbles the ball, recovered by Jarvis Anders. First down, Bearcats inside Cairo's 15-yard line. Penalties pushed back Bainbridge all the way back. Brett McLaughlin back to pass hits Russell Wheeler for a 30-yard gain, and that sets him up at 2nd and goal at the 13-yard line. And on the next play, McLaughlin hits Clark Wiggins for a touchdown, 7-3 Bainbridge. And on the next Bearcat possession, McLaughlin, he's dropping back to pass, and he hits Trey Story for a 20-yard gain. First down in Cairo territory, but the drive stalls, and the 30-yard field goal attempt is no good. 7-3 Bainbridge at that point. They go on to win 14-6, and they are region champs. And Deerfield Windsor hosting Holy Spirit Prep tonight in the first round of the GISA AAA playoffs after shutting down the Cougars in the first drive. Tyler Lowe hits John Shetner for the first down near the goal line, and Hal Logan does the rest. Punches in the touchdown. Knights take the early 7-0 lead following the PAT, and they weren't done. They held Holy Spirit to another 3-and-out on the ensuing drive, hands it off to Cameron McCook, and the big man sets up first and goal for Deerfield Windsor, and Lowe finds Shetner again for a short touchdown this time. 14-0 Knights in the first quarter. They hold Holy Spirit once again to another 3-and-out, and Lowe fakes the handoff, rolls out to his left, and he finds Shetner for the touchdown, his second of the night. The Knights were up 21-0 at that point. They advanced to the second round with a 42-19 win. And don't go anywhere. We'll reveal our team of the week and have more game highlights coming up after the break. Welcome back to the Blitz. Fitzgerald enters the final week of the season with only one loss, and the Purple Hurricanes have won 15 of their last 17 dating back to last season, and that is why they are our team of the week. And Fitzgerald is led by one of the top rushers in the state in J.D. Keene, who entered this week ranked 6th with 1,545 rushing yards. The Hurricanes face Seminole County tonight, looking to improve to 9-1 overall for the second straight year. Entering tonight's game, Coach Jason Strickland knew that his players would have to play great defensively against the Indians.
What they're doing a really good job of is taking tremendous athletes and putting them in space and forcing you in situations you got to do one-on-one tackling in space. And that's something that always scares you. If you miss one of those tackles, all of a sudden the band plays.
And it was senior night at Fitzgerald tonight as they're taking on Seminole County at home, looking to pick up that win, number 9. And the Indians' opening drive trying to pump, but Patrick Bell can't get the kickoff. Fitzgerald gets the ball deep inside Indian territory, and the Indians hold the Canes to just a field goal as Raul Martinez puts Fitzgerald up 3-0. Indians offense having a hard time against the Canes defense tonight. Alex Fudge can't escape the rush by Darius Hampton. Still in the first, Fudge is once again picked off by Willie Ross, and then early in the second, score is still 3-0 Fitzgerald. J.D. Keene, he's weaving his way down the field. He sets up a first down, and on that same drive, it's J.D. Keene once again. He gets the ball, and this time he's weaving his way into the end zone. PAT is good, and the Canes led 10-0 at that point. They go on to win 45-0. And the Tift County Blue Devils hosted Lowndes, and fans were looking for their team's first region win. Lowndes started off with the ball, and on the running back sweep, Tift swarms Bethany Carter, but the Blue Devil defense couldn't stop Lowndes from scoring on the 1-yard line. Michael Baer punches it in, makes it 7-3 Lowndes, and Tift tried to get the run game going, gives it to Barry Bennett. He busts through the tackles for 10 yards and before finally getting tackled by multiple defenders, but they couldn't put any points up. And Lowndes drives the ball back to the red zone, and Baer scores another easy touchdown. In the last seconds before the half, Tift threw up a Hail Mary to the end zone, but it was deflected by Tyson Harris. Blue Devils failed to pick up the win, and their season ends in a 42-16 loss.
Last Thursday night, the Cripps County Cougars went on the road and upset the Monroe Tornadoes. And because they pulled off the heart-stopping 14-13 win, they are one game away from making the playoffs for the second time in the last 5 years. Cripps County actually at home in this one. I don't know how that worked out. First quarter, no score. Horace Everson in motion and takes the handoff. Big hole up the middle, but he was tracked down eventually after a huge pickup, and he set up Worth County in great field position. Later in the same drive for Worth, quarterback going to roll out to his right. He's got the ball tucked in his arm, but Trevius Bryant still finds a way to knock the ball loose, and the Cougars stop the Rams. Second quarter now. Chris driving, Brandon Dowell looking. He's scrambling and eventually finds his big tight end, Will Carter, on the reception, picks up some yards after catch, but the drive wouldn't yield any points. So Worth driving now, and they are going up top. Everson is wide open. Everson's catch made it 7-0. Final score, Worth County wins 27-12. Westover looking to close out the season with a win over Thomas County Central. We picked this one up at the start of the third quarter. Yellow Jackets up 21-14. Trevante Brown on the handoff. 15-yard gain, nets a first down for Westover. Later in the drive now, Westover and Thomas County Central territory. Emory McKenzie back to pass. Scrambling, finds Brown again on the sideline. Officials ruled that a catch, and it's down at the TCC 10-yard line. Second and goal now for the Patriots. McKenzie back to pass again, but it's broken up by the Yellow Jackets. Patriots would try to convert on a field goal to inch closer. However, the 30-yard field goal is no good. The score remains 21-14. But Thomas County Central will go on to win 28-27. They are headed back to the state playoffs. And don't go anywhere because we still need to check in on the Hornets of Pelham and the rivalry between Baconton and Calhoun County. as well as Fox 31 Sports looks at a sad trend of players dying in high school football. Stick around. Welcome back to the Blitz. The Berrien Rebels have dominated the Pelham Hornets over the last 4 years, winning 3 out of the last 4 contests. Last year's game was a 3-point thriller that went the way of the Rebels, so the Hornets will come out with revenge on their minds. Let's start with Pelham taking on Berrien County. Let's start in the first quarter, no score. Berrien Rebel Blake Gruffley with a quarterback keeper, and he runs down the sideline for a big first down. And later in the first, Hornet quarterback James Flacker keeps the ball. Flacker runs over 30 yards before being pushed out of bounds. First down for the Hornets. And we're going to stay in the first. Pelham's Flacker, he's going to be back to pass, throws it to Cautious Allen, who catches the ball, and Allen is brought down just shy of the end zone. So he set them up for the very next play, and it's going to be Flacker again. He's going to keep the ball this time, and he's in for the touchdown. Now, the point after touchdown was no good, but the Hornets led the Rebels 6-0, and in a great fourth quarter, Pelham comes out on top with a win 40-39. Calhoun County taking on Baconton Charter. Let's start in the second quarter, and we're going to start with Anthony Johnson. He's going to connect with Jarek Solid for the Cougar touchdown. Calhoun leads 14-8. Now, Baconton, they have the ball. Zeke Dean passes to Matthew Dean, gets the Blazer first down. As he's tackled right there, Baconton trying to pick up their first region win ever in this contest. Later, it's Zeke Dean handing it off to Matthew Dean and into the end zone for the touchdown. Blazer would go for 2. They were so excited after 9 the game at 14. And later in the third, Johnson will be dropped for a loss. That's a big sack for Calhoun as they seek their first region win of this season. And then Johnson's going to throw it to Reginald Ross, but it's going to be picked off by Jonathan Beck in the end zone for the touchback. Final score, Baconton wins 28-14.
And Monroe and America's Sumter battled it out last night at Hugh Mills Stadium, where it was the last game for both teams. And it was also a battle between coaches who used to be on the same staff. Coach Truitt was on Eric Soliday's staff when Americas won state titles in 2000 and 2001. First quarter, no score. Monroe inside the red zone, but the pass is picked off by Jakari White. Panthers couldn't do anything with the turnover, though, and later in the first, Dexter Mormon complete to Mark Robinson, who hurdles over a defender for the first down. And later in the drive, Mormon is going through the air. Pass complete to Tito McGowan. Takes it in for the 6. 7-0 Monroe after the PAT. And in the second quarter, American Sumter looking to go through the air. Both players come down with the ball. The tie goes to Eric Brown and the Panthers. And later in the drive, Macravius Edwards takes it in himself for the end zone. But the Tornadoes led 7-6 because of a blocked PAT. And on the ensuing kickoff, Panthers trying to catch Monroe off guard. But DeMario Curry picks up the free ball, and he's gone untouched into the end zone. He puts the Tornadoes up 13-6 following the missed PAT. But later in the second, Sumter in Monroe territory, Eric Brown takes the handoff, gets to the outside, and that's a touchdown. Ties the game at 13 with a little under 2 minutes left in the first half. Dexter Mormon having a brilliant day. His second touchdown pass of the night. Scores 19-13 at the break, and the Tornadoes were able to hang on for the 25-19 win. On Tuesday, a 17-year-old high school player in Kansas died after collapsing on the football field, and that made it the number of high school football deaths has reached double digits again, raising the question, what can be done?
11 high school athletes have died while playing football since July. It has brought up a debate on what can be done to prevent these deaths.
It is sad that we've had a year like we've had by losing athletes, and it is very, very tough. But I think we just got to continue to pray, continue to have faith, and know that we can overcome a lot of things.
Policies have helped decrease the number of deaths in high school football since the 1960s, where the level of direct fatalities per 100,000 players has declined by nearly 2.
Georgia does a good job as far as they've adapted the national protocol as far as contact hours, blocking back. You know, we have to hit bags more than bodies and things of that nature, just trying to prevent concussions and things of that nature.
Many have suggested requiring every school to hire a full-time athletic trainer, as only 37% have one and 70% have access to one at games.
We just continue to try to strive and get better in terms of our contact, in terms of the heat, and in terms of all the factors that can play into that. And but right now, it's a great sport, and I love watching high school players play it, and I hate it for those families and for those young men.
Lowe coached both of his sons throughout high school, and as for Coach Tone and many other coaches around the area, they hope the game continues to get safer if their children decide to play in the future.
The National Federation of State High School Associations said in a statement last week that the goal starts with continuing their efforts to minimize risk for the 12 million participants in high school programs. Now let's toss it over to Joey.
Thanks, Matt. And it's time once again to recognize the most important people to high school football, you, the fans. And here are the nominees for the Auburn Technical College Fan of the Week. Let's start at Fitzgerald. This fan forgot Halloween was last week. Poor kid. And in Tifton, these fans were turned up to the max for the Blue Devils, looking for their first region win. And finally, this sweet little girl from Pelham was hoping to see a Hornets win. And don't go anywhere, because we still have to name our tail seat Play of the Week and announce the nominees for the Colquitt Regional Medical Center Player of the Week. Stick around. Welcome back to the Blitz. We've taken a look at all the tapes, and I think we found our tail seat Play of the Week. And we just showed it to you. It's from last night at Hugh Mills, where Monroe was taking on American Sumter, and Eric Brown is going to make a sensational catch with a Monroe defensive back draped all over him.
And looking at the Colquitt Regional Medical Center Player of the Week nominees, John Schechtner had 2 receiving touchdowns in the first quarter of Deerfield-Windsor's huge win, and then Dexter Mormon had 2 key touchdowns as well in the early going to help push Monroe to the win in their last game of the year. And DeTravion Bishop had a pair of rushing touchdowns as well for Terrell County. Go online and vote for your favorite player.
All right, Matt, we've been so busy calling games this year, but we have to take time and to say, I want to know, what have you been most impressed with this year?
Yeah, I have to go with overall, Bainbridge's season has just been impressive. The last time they started a season 10-0 was in 1960. I don't think they're done winning either, and they have a bright future with Damian Pierce in the backfield.
I mean, they look good. But what about Turner County?
Yeah.
This is a team that last year went 4-6 and didn't have any shot at making the playoffs. All right. They insert Ben Simmons, and now they're going to the playoffs and hosting a home playoff game.
It's awesome.
These are the same players that they had last year. Yeah. All they did was insert a new coach.
Yeah, it's impressive. It's really impressive.
Is it time to call him Urban Meyer?
It's okay. All right.
Comes in, takes somebody else's team to the state playoffs.
Simmons, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing an absolutely fantastic job. And now they'll be off next week because of all Class A teams will be off, so they won't be playing until the 20th.
Yep.
Is anything else that has impressed you so far?
Just the overall season. I mean, it's Colquitt County, obviously, they continue to win, and they'll probably continue to win as the playoffs start next week. So they're a team that I've been really impressed with, and I'll probably continue to be impressed with them as the season goes on. 24 straight wins. They're trying to make it back to the Dome and back-to-back state championships. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. Thanks for watching The Blitz.